Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I am Annabel Casinto from B Ed 2. So, who do you think is the persons behind the success of a school? So, it is the stakeholders. So, this afternoon, let's know more about the stakeholders. So, what is a stakeholders? In education, the term stakeholders typically refers to anyone who is invested in the welfare and success of a school and its students. This includes administrators, teachers, staff members, students, parents, families, community members, local business leaders, and elected officials. So the stakeholders helps its student to learn something for for preparation for the future. So now let's take a look of the responsibilities of the stakeholders. So we have teachers' responsibility. In special educators, we have early identification. Early identification includes the evaluation and treatment provided to families and their children under 3 years old who have difficulties in hearing, speech, and language, or who is at risk of disability. Next is using multiple techniques. So for teachers, using multiple techniques is very efficient in order for the students to learn better because they have different learning styles in learning. Next, developing an individualized education programs or IEPS. It is a plan or program developed to ensure that a child who has disability identified under the law and is attending of elementary or secondary educational institution receives specialized instruction. Next is designing appropriate curriculum. The curriculum should reflect the diversity of the lives of the children and families. It also reflect the diversity found in the society, example, gender, age, language, and etc. Next is working with regular teachers. To meet the individualized needs of a student within the inclusive special education programs, so teachers must um, work with regular teachers to to meet the specific um, learning that needs of a specific child. Next, we have the general educator. So, in general educator, we have peer collaboration. So, in peer collaboration, it is a student working in pairs. So, student working in pairs is important in order for them to create a strong idea. Next is peer coaching. Peer coaching is a two or more colleagues work together to reflect on the current practices. It is reflecting to the current practices you had to better understand what you have learned. Next is team teaching. It is a group of instructors working purposely, regularly, cooperatively to help a group of students of any age learn. It is a collaboration of a teacher to help a students who are not able to understand such particular discussion. Next is teacher mentors. Teacher mentors are models of teaching who support and monitor interns as they begin an intensive period of learning to teach in a context of practice. So, teacher mentors are the ones who will help the aspiring educators to better improve their teaching skills. So, next is the family responsibilities. We have dealing with negative attitude. So, it is the responsibility of a family of within the family to deal with a negative attitude. It is very normal for a kid to have such attitude, and we are so the parents or within the family is there to guide his or her children. Next is the family as a source of love and solidarity. Of course, inside the family, It's the love starts within. So family shows love in order for them to feel safe every time. Next is the family as a teacher of the disabled. So it is very important and a responsibility of the family to teach his or her child with disability as early as possible. Next is responsibility of early identification and intervention. So the family has also the responsibility of the child's early identification. That is very important. Next is communicating with the child with special needs. So the family has a responsibility in this area. It is very important for the child to communicate with others like her to to widen her knowledge that she is not the only one in the situation. Next is responsibilities of community. So adequate support to families member. So it is important that the community supports each and every family. Next is involved in decision making process. It is important to be involved in decision making process in order for you to not be failed in every decision you make. Next is community should motivate the parents for promoting the inclusive education. Community must um, motivate the family or the parents to agree in inclusive education because it is for uh, your own good. It is for the benefit for your child. Next is community should take steps to make a unity in the surroundings. So unity is very important for every one of us. It is because it strengthens the bond within the area. Next is responsibilities of parents. This encourage the child. This encourage the parents must encourage the child to to be in school for her own good. Next is educate their children at home. Education is not only in school, also at home. It is the responsibility of the parents to educate their children at home in all aspects, in moral and um, others. Next is discuss about the child performance with the class teacher. The teacher must know the performance of the child in order for the teacher to act appropriately towards the child. Next is be aware of school policies, programs, rules, and routine. It is very important as a parent to know the school's programs in order to avoid misleading information. Next is be informed and involved in education decisions that affect their children. As parents, it is important that you are involved in decision making in school in order to avoid a misunderstanding in the school. Responsibilities of peers. Peers should respect for all people. It is respect is a very important and a broad word, so it should be um, done within the peers. Peers should do the work with groups. It is very important to work as a group in order to strengthen the information and for them and for you to share informations and knowledge to everyone. Next is peers should develop friendly attitude with all. Being friendly is a nice attitude towards your friends in order to gain social life, and it is important for you to socialize to everybody. Next is peers should be understanding and acceptance of diversity. You have to be understanding and um, accept the diversities you are in. Next, responsibilities of the headmaster. Selecting special education staff. So as a headmaster, you have to know the special educators staff in order to um, meet the quality education you want. Next is to ensure that all students benefits from inclusion. Of course, the headmaster wants the best for you. So you have to make sure that the children will benefit the inclusion. Next is recognizing the extra support needs of a special needs. You have to recognize what they need in order to give them the needs they want in order for them to have a um, efficient and conducive um, education. The stakeholders play an important role in managing schools. They are the partners of the leaders in making the schools conducive to teaching and learning. So, stakeholders are very important for making the school possible and for making it more effective for every student. That's all for today, ma'am, and thank you and God bless.